What is going on, YouTube? So today I'm going to be talking about whether you as a beginner should start on a 600cc motorcycle like I did. A R6 is what I have if you've been watching my previous videos. Now I've only been riding since December, so I've only been riding for 3 months now, right? So TLDR, if you don't want to watch the entire video, no, I don't recommend you start on a 600. If you want to watch the rest of the video, I'd greatly appreciate it. But here's why I don't recommend a 600. Now, for me personally, I started learning how to ride a motorcycle on a dirt bike, right? It's not quite the same, but understanding like the controls and everything of the motorcycle comes from that. Now, I didn't hop on this thing and was just like, well, I'm just gonna learn today out of nowhere. No, I already understood how to ride a motorcycle, I just didn't own one, right? Now, I'm pretty terrible at it. I wasn't very good at it. I literally only have maybe like an hour or two of riding experience, technically, right? But yeah, one of the things is I didn't hop on this thing with zero experience. It was more like, oh cool, I understood how to do it, you know. Driving a manual for about 20 years, so I understood how to use a clutch, how to shift and all that jazz. I didn't hop on this thing and was like, well, like how does this work, you know? One of my cousins taught me how to ride a motorcycle when I was about 15 years old. After that, he taught me how to ride his street bike. I don't actually remember what it was though. Like it's been so long. It's been like 12-13 years since then, maybe even more. I don't actually remember right now, but yeah, he taught me how to ride his street bike, and it was kind of scary because I think his was a 600 also. I don't remember if it was an R6 or a Gixxer. But after that, the first R6 that I can remember riding was a 3rd gen R6. Might have been 08, 09. I don't remember the exact year, but that thing scared the hell out of me. When I got on it, like, I thought it was gonna be fine and calm like the one my cousin had, right? It wasn't. I remember just trying to get it off. I wasn't trying to accelerate or anything. I gave it just a little bit of gas so it wouldn't stall. And I gave it too much gas and it accelerated a lot faster than I was expecting. Literally scared the hell out of me. And I started just whiskey throttling because I was freaking out, right? Now, my friends were kind of like, oh shit, he's probably gonna crash. They're watching and chasing after me. Finally, I just pressed the clutch, and mind you, I've already been racing and everything in my race cars and stuff when I rode this R6. It still scared me. But after that kind of killed my mood on riding a motorcycle. I was like, you know, maybe it's not for me. Like, maybe I just shouldn't ride. Like, I'm probably not good at it, you know? And then maybe, probably about 2 years ago or so, one of my friends, my best friend, has a 2nd gen R6. It's 03, I think. And when I rode his 2nd gen R6, like, he broke it down for me. He was like, hey, look, if you drop the bike, oh well, you know, it is what it is. Like, don't worry about it, just be safe. But literally, he showed me, like, he sat there, he put the bike up on stands, put me on the bike, and then just started showing me like how to go through the process again. And from the time when my cousin taught me to this has already been at least 10 years, right? So I'm out of practice. I understand the idea, but by no means was I good at it, right? Like, and when I rode his R6, I actually felt a lot more comfortable. Like, his throttle was not slow, like his throttle feels a little more gentle than mine. Not sure if it's just a second gen thing in general, or if it's just his motorcycle, but his felt a lot more forgiving, right? Later I found out his was actually faster than the other friends that I had ridden, but I never got in the power band, so it was one of those, like, I didn't know, right? I'm just kind of putting around. I was able to get up to like 60 on his motorcycle, and I felt comfortable the entire time. Like, I never once got scared and was like, no, I can't do this. And that's pretty much what changed my mind on getting a motorcycle. After that, he let me ride around a couple times as well. Just kind of like a little bit here and there, you know, like 5-10 minutes here, 5-10 minutes there. And I got used to riding on his. After that, it definitely became a lot more like easier. And, well, not easier, but I understood it a little better. I knew that if I could ride his motorcycle, I should be able to ride a brand new R6, right? Now, I've never dropped a motorcycle. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I haven't yet, thank God. But it can happen, right? Like I said, it's never happened to me, but I'm not, knock on wood that I don't, you know? I almost did once, but thank God I didn't. But going back to it, that's kind of why I started on an R6. Now, the other reason was, if you watch my previous videos, Yamaha announced that they were discontinuing the R6, which I've been wanting one since 2017, I think. Once they came out with this model, like, I just absolutely fell in love with it. Don't get me wrong, I like the older R6, the way they look and all that, but the looks of this one, hands down, does it for me. Like, this is one of my favorite motorcycles of all time, right? The only other motorcycle I really want just as much as this one is a Ducati V4. Like, that's the only other motorcycle that I'm like, I want one really bad. What the hell? What the? Alright. But yeah, I only want a V4. Now, my original plan was, I'm gonna buy an R3, gonna hang out, alright. So I want an R3 now, because Yamaha announced that they're discontinuing this motorcycle. That's the main reason why I went and just bought this one instead of buying an R3. So I wanted one of these brand new. You know, when you buy something used, you can only take people for their word, and I actually don't really trust anyone. So I was like, yeah, nah, I'm not gonna do that. I don't trust people. There's no way in hell I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm just gonna buy this. Oh yeah, it's never been dropped, and I find out later like the frame's cracked or something, you know? Like, that would just make me upset. Do I recommend it? No, I don't. Like I said, I had a little bit of experience before starting on this motorcycle. Now, was it enough that once I started riding this thing every day? No, it was not. I quickly realized that I'm fucking terrible at this, and I should have definitely started on something else. But we're here. You know, I'm getting fairly used to the motorcycle now. So one thing to note, if you want an R6 just for the speed, like to go fast in a straight line, that gets old. Like that feeling, I've never once gotten on this motorcycle because I wanted to go fast. Like the feeling of adrenaline you get from going fast in a straight line eventually wears out, and you get tired of it. And it doesn't matter how fast you go, you kind of just like, oh, whatever, you know, I'm only hitting 150, like, yeah, whatever. Eventually it goes away, right? I like this motorcycle in general. It's not because of the power, like, not that it doesn't lack power. It definitely has power, but I've never gotten on this thing and just been like, oh, I want to see what top speed is. Nah, I get on it just because it's fun. I like it. I like the way it looks. If the R3 looked the same as this, like literally the same fairings, I probably would have just bought an R3, to be honest. The R3 looks a little different. That's what the main reason why I like this motorcycle more. I like the 2020 R1 more than the other R1s from, like, what was it, 2015 to 2019. I don't know what it is, like that little pouty mouth that it has. Don't get me wrong, I like it, but I like the 2020 version a lot more. Fuck, I can't see shit. Sun's right in my eye. But I'm gonna run into Cycle Gear real quick, try to do an exchange on something, and then we'll continue the video. Alright, we're out of Cycle Gear. I had to come back because so I bought this little RAM mount for my phone, and the guy that sold it to me told me that my phone needed like the XL mount or whatever, and turns out my phone fits just fine on the standard one. So even with the case, I was like, huh. So I was like, nah, the thing was almost 40 bucks, so gotta take it back instead. Probably just gonna go back home right now and then head to the gym after. Oh man. Alright, so some of the things that I've come to learn about this motorcycle after owning it for 3 months. The seat is extremely uncomfortable. The thing sucks, right? Like anything more than 20 miles, 20-30 miles, like I have to get off or I have to stretch. The engine braking is so bad that I pretty much never let go of the throttle. Like unless I'm trying to slow down. But it's like I rode with a friend once before and he kept trying to like give me a fist bump, right? And I can let go with my left hand just fine, right? But as soon as I let go with my right hand, it's like it slows down so much. The engine braking is definitely I enjoy it just because I use that like when I'm racing, but it threw me off at first, like just riding around, and then as soon as I let go, it's like, oh cool, it doesn't coast at all. Yeah, so anything, when I rode down to Azusa, which I went through the crest, Angeles Crest down, or Angeles Forest, down to the crest, down to the 215, went to Azusa, rode all the way up, rode down, rode through, all the way back, right? The thing tired me out. The weight of this bike, it doesn't seem bad, but like after a while of riding, it tires you out a lot. Like just having to move around and whatnot. And I didn't know that until I started riding this thing. Like this is pretty much the bike that I'm learning on. And until like the previous motorcycles that I've ridden, I've only ridden them for like 10-15 minutes at a time. You know, it's never been like, hey, I'm gonna go take a day trip down to the canyons, you know? So it's definitely been a learning experience. Now, one thing too, I know most people don't like the mirrors, but I actually enjoy being able to look back. But I do have to kind of chicken wing and like open my arms up to look back. So that's the main reason I haven't taken them off, and I'm probably not going to. Like when I was thinking about it, I saw some bar end mirrors. Like I don't want to hit someone, like someone's mirrors, if I'm lane splitting or anything like that. So I'm probably just gonna leave the stock ones, just leave them. Now another thing too, the speed of this bike. I know a lot of other people will say, oh, it's gutless under 8,000 RPM. Trust me, I know for a fact that this thing has enough power to move you, whether you're at 2 or 8,000 RPM. Like, at no point have I been on this thing and like been around a car and been stuck under 8,000 RPM and been like, oh shit, I should have been in the power band and like overtake them. Nah, this thing's quick. People that say it has no power under 8 are probably only trying to race. But check this out. God, she sounds so good. But yeah, normally I shift at 6,000 RPM. Now I understand the whole, oh, you're probably putting too much stress on the engine, you're not revving high enough, you're not hitting the power band. Listen, I drive the way I drive, I ride the way I ride. It's perfectly fine to commute around and just like not have to hit redline every single time. Unless it's a rotary, then I see no reason why you have to be redlining it every single time you're riding, right? It's definitely quick. Like, if you're just getting into motorcycles and you think like, oh man, is it fast enough? Should I get an R1? No, this is fine. Hell, personally, I haven't ridden an R3, but I think that would be fine too. Like, I've seen them ride around. You know, I was cruising on the highway once and one flew by me going over 100. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, I was surprised. I didn't try to catch up, but I was like, I was cruising, you know, I'm over here just jamming, vibing and shit, and it just flew by. Like, but by no means, kind of backtracking here a little bit, this thing has enough power under 8,000 RPM. Now, do you need to be in the power band every single time you ride? Hell nah. Like, people are just gonna stare at you and be like, what the fuck's this idiot doing, right? And also, I'm only at 1,000 miles on this bike, so it's not a lot, right? I haven't ridden it a lot. Mostly ride it on the weekends, or if I do take it to work from time to time. My commute's only like 8-9 miles, so it's not a whole lot. But so far it's been pretty chill. Now, one thing I definitely recommend if you're just starting to get into riding, get a tire patch kit. I found out the hard way when I went down to Azusa, my tire popped and I was just stuck. I was like, well, this is awkward. I had no way to get home, and the cool thing was like some other guys that were riding out happened to have one, and they actually helped me out, right? So without them, I would have been stuck, and I was like 60 miles away at least. But yeah, definitely, I really like this motorcycle. It's a lot of fun. Do I recommend you start on one? Like I said, it's one of those, if you think you can, go for it, do what you want, right? I personally wouldn't tell my siblings or my parents to start on this thing. Like, it's way too much for them, right? But I understand there's other people out there with similar experience as me, that if they, oh shit, I was supposed to turn right. Whoops, that's what I was doing. If you still want to start on a 600, who am I to tell you not to? Just be safe, don't get hurt. But yeah, definitely get into riding. Like, I actually really enjoy it. Most of the people I've met so far have been fairly nice. Some have been kind of mean, but that's with everything, you know. But I definitely recommend it. It's fun. you know, it's starting to become a hobby. I've slowly been getting gear here and there, and like I said, I'm having fun. So with that being said, do I recommend you start on a 600? No. Are you going to? Like, am I gonna stop you? No. Do whatever you want. You know, you're responsible for you, I'm responsible for me. But if you do, let me know. You know, send me pictures on Instagram or something, because this thing is cool. No, visor's fogging up. But yeah, this bike is a lot of fun. I definitely, if you want to get a 600, I do recommend this thing. Reliability wise, I have no idea if they're reliable or not. I assume they are because they're Japanese, you know. But my friends' R6s have never had issues, so we'll see. I'm gonna go do some shopping real quick, and I'm pretty much gonna end the video here. So thanks again for watching, guys. If you guys enjoyed it, smash that like button. You know, share this video with your friends. If you have an R6, hit me up. Hell, if you're in SoCal, you want to ride, let's ride. I'm definitely trying to make friends, you know. This stuff is fun as hell. Like, I definitely need to just get out and meet more people in general. But you know, you got an R6. Even if you don't got an R6, you got a cruiser, whatever you got, hit me up. Let's hang out. But yeah, if you could subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks.